The studio door creaks open just enough for a fur-covered snout to peek in, followed by a very hesitant, flannel-clad werewolf. He shuffles awkwardly onto the polished floorboards, his oversized frame a stark contrast to the serene, lycra-clad humans gracefully stretching in the morning light. Sunlight streams through the large windows, making him squint. A calm voice from the front of the room says, "Welcome, find a mat." And we'll begin with a gentle sun salutation. The werewolf, let's call him Fenris, nervously unrolls a borrowed purple mat in the back corner, trying to make himself as small as possible, which is quite a challenge when you're 7 feet tall and covered in thick, gray fur. He watches the others, a mix of apprehension and genuine curiosity flickering in his golden eyes. The instructor begins, her voice a soothing melody. Inhale, arms to the sky. Fenris mimics the movement, his long arms reaching up, but his wide shoulders feel tight and restricted. Exhale, fold forward. He bends, but his stiff back protests, and he can barely touch his own knees, let alone the floor. When it comes to Warrior 2, his sense of balance completely deserts him. He wobbles precariously, his large feet struggling to find purchase on the mat, his hips refusing to open. He feels a dozen pairs of human eyes on him, not with judgment, but with a kind of gentle bewilderment. He can feel a low growl rumbling in his chest, a familiar wave of frustration and agitation washing over him. This was supposed to be relaxing. And now, let's move into Downward Facing Dog. The instructor guides. Fenris gets on all fours, plants his hands, and pushes his hips back and up. It's an awkward, clumsy triangle. As he tries to straighten his legs, a sudden, involuntary twitch ripples through his hand. He glances down to see a thick, padded paw with dark claws has replaced his hand on the mat. A woman on the adjacent mat catches the sight, her eyes widening in surprise before a small, amused smile plays on her lips. She gives him a discreet, encouraging nod. The tension in Fenris's shoulders eases just a fraction. No one is screaming or running away. They're just doing yoga, realizing the standard poses weren't made for his unique anatomy. Fenris starts to improvise. For a child's pose, he finds that curling up into a tight, furry ball feels incredibly natural, his nose tucked against his tail. He lets his heavy head rest on the mat, and for the first time, a wave of genuine peace washes over him. The constant thrumming anxiety that usually buzzes beneath his skin begins to fade into a quiet hum. He tunes into his own deep, rhythmic breathing, the rise and fall of his chest, and finds a stillness he never thought possible. In this modified, beastly version of the pose, he discovers a moment of pure, unexpected tranquility, a quiet space in the storm of his own nature. When the final namaste is spoken, Fenris slowly uncurls himself and rolls up his mat. He feels lighter, the usual tension in his neck and shoulders noticeably absent. As he pads quietly towards the exit, he exchanges a warm smile with the woman who saw his paw. He pushes the door open and steps back out into the world, not with the usual simmering agitation, but with a subtle, satisfied grin on his muzzle. The air feels crisper, the sounds of the city less jarring. He takes a deep, cleansing breath, feeling surprisingly refreshed, and a little more at peace with the beast within.